Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Legends. Every week, different content, different industry, exposing talents from all around the world. My name is Igor Pachi, and this is my house. What's up guys, I'm back with fresh content all the way from UK. It's their Bombay Bramble Part 2, telling us everything about gin history.
So there's actually about 1,000 years of gin history, which is really quite remarkable. It dates all the way back to the Benedictine monks in a Salerno monastery over in Italy. And they were trying to make a medicine to cure respiratory and digestive problems. And then I guess really they realized it tasted quite nice, and hey presto, Juniperus was born, after the Latin name for juniper. Nothing really happened for the next couple of 100 years until the Dutch created Geneva. They sent it all around the world, they popularized it. During the 30-year war, that's when it became gin, and it's where the term Dutch courage comes from. The British took it and absolutely loved it to bits. And this is where we hit the 50 years of totally unregulated production consumption of gin, known as the gin craze, from 1701 through to 1751. The quality of gin was fairly dubious, to be honest, so the government needs to step in, introduce several laws which we know and love today, like the measures and the opening and closing times. And it was actually the Tippling Act in 1751 that really regulated the control of the quality of gin. And from that point on, premium gins started popping up all around the world. And about 10 years later, a gentleman, very young gentleman, 24 years old, Thomas Dakin, created his Warrington Dry Gin. And that's actually where the basis of all of our gin products come from for the Bombay Spirits Company range of gins. And he passed the recipe from generation to generation, eventually on to Mary Dakin, who created the vapor infusion process, which then passed on to the Greenhalghs family. In the 1950s, a lovely gentleman, Alan Subin, came along, and he wanted to create a new gin for the sort of martini drinking era of the 1950s gaslight clubs. And that's where our Bombay Dry Gin comes. It's got that 8 botanical recipe, vapor infused, single fold, London Dry Gin, perfect for drinking with martinis. The recipe then passed through to a gentleman called Michel Roux. Now, of course, not the famous French chef Michel Roux, but another marketing guru who actually launched Absolute Vodka in the 1970s. And he just felt that during the 80s, gin was a bit old-fashioned. It was the kind of thing that was drunk by your grandma or Dot and the Queen Vic on EastEnders, if anybody watches that. And he put the gin recipe, the 8 botanical recipe, into a blue bottle, made it iconic, added 2 extra botanicals, and he called it Sapphire after the 182.5 carat Star of Bombay, which is the world's largest and most striking star sapphire. The brand got passed over to Cardi Martini in 1998, and they just put loads of love and passion and care and attention into the gin. Decided eventually that they wanted to produce their own facility, have a brand home and production facility, and they bought Laverstock Mill, which is where I'm based, in 2010. We renovated and we opened on the 1st of October 2014. During that period, we worked on Star of Bombay, which is our most super premium gin expression. It's got bergamot and Bretta seeds as well in there, and that is now certainly the martini drinker's gin of choice with its slow distillation process. More recently, in 2019, we launched Bombay Sapphire English Estate, which has 3 extra botanicals on top of Bombay Sapphire, and that's pennyroyal mint, rose hips, and toasted hazelnuts. And that's delicious with cloud apple juice and ginger ale. And then finally, I have the honor and pleasure of announcing to you guys that we have Bombay Bramble. This launched just a couple of weeks ago, and it's our first flavored gin with blackberries and raspberries in there, but there's no added sugar. So it's a very dry, fruity gin, really, really delicious with tonic, with ginger ale. I love it as a bramble, as the name would suggest. And also as a clover club, is really, really tasty. So that's our little range of gins right there.
Give this guy some love. Like it, like it, like it. If you like it, share it. If you share, you like it. And you see my face here or my face here. Click it, subscribe. It will take a second. Watch this space. Don't miss it. Coming up soon. Thank you. This was Igor Pachi, and I'll see you next week.